viewers, welcome back to Create, Share, and Give. This is my Aunt Marie, and thank you for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much to all of my new subscribers where I talk about everything spiritual. So if you're interested, don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button for future videos. Now today, I am going to share with you guys how I burn my ancestor. Ancestor money is a form of joss paper, and it is a ritual that is used to honor the ancestors. Now I know it's really big in a lot of Asian cultures, African as well. A few of the general reasons why you would want to burn ancestor money is just ancestor veneration. For me, is my sacred time with my ancestors. It allows me to focus on them. It allows me to pay homage to them. I'll do a little meditation, and I love the idea of using the element of fire to transmute the paper in air, and that turns into ashes. And it reminds me of the physical body that is turning from the physical body that can also turn into ashes, you know, and blur those lines between the physical, Malkuth, and Kether, which is the all-being greatness of the one. So that's one of the reasons why I burn it. Some people burn it to pay off karmic debt, like literally money to pay off karmic debt here and in the afterlife for their ancestors. And I did not really feel connected when I first saw the ritual of ancestor money, but I quickly turned around as soon as I got my first ancestor money, and I burned it, and I've been burning it ever since, and that's been a few years now. So where do you get your ancestor money? You can buy it from Amazon. There are some Etsy shops that have really unique, cool ancestor money. Or if you live in an Asian community, this is a big secret, you can go into their grocery stores and purchase it there. That's where I purchased the ancestor money I'll be demonstrating with today. I love to find new food, new fruit, and different things they offer within their cuisine. So I went to my local Asian grocery store, and they had, here is the Hell Notes, which is what it's called technically, Hell Banknote. And you can get these for really reasonable. Like this whole package here, I believe was $2.50. And I'm sure you get, I don't know how many you get in here, maybe 100, I would say, or over 100. Here's another packet I picked up for $10,000. Another pack I picked up. Here's another Hell banknote. And these are some that I have gotten that I'm almost down. That's why I had to go and re-up on the ones that I purchased. And these were 79 cents, and they're $100 increments. And I've had these, I know, at least 10 months. But when I do the $100, I always burn 2, 3, or 4 at a time. Very rare do I burn one of the ancestor notes. You can also get it in this form. This is a joss paper. And I haven't used this to write and burn it, but I use them like for petitions. It just really has a beautiful orange and gold foiling on it. And it's kind of difficult to write on it. You just have to find the right marker to use. But Asian market near you, go check it out because they are big on ancestor veneration. If you go into any Asian business, where it be a nail salon, see an ancestor altar with fruit, and you also see, you don't really see the ancestor money, but you will see the incense, and you will see that they have burned a lot of incense there. They may not do it when the customers are there, but they do it. And that's, some people will look at it as for evil, you know, but they don't question different cultures. So anywho, another thing I picked up, speaking of incense, I picked up these Buddha incense again. Chinatown to pick up Ancestor Money too. That's another great place. If you live in a state where you guys have a Chinatown, check out Chinatown and stock up there. And these incense I picked up, they're really tiny, thin, and short. So it's good being this thin and this short. The scent would not permeate too much throughout my house. So I was willing to give it a try. These are the Buddha. Another thing on a side note I picked up from it, and this is, it says Joss material, but it's good to use when burning incense, like your charcoal incense. What I like to do is put them in like my container, and I'll fill the bottom half with salt, and then I'll fill the top half with the Joss paper, or rice paper it's called, and I'll fill the top half with this, and then I'll lay my charcoal on top of this and burn the charcoal on top, and it gives a nice smooth burn. On top, you can see here I have some resin that I've used on top of here. I will show you guys how I like my Ancestor Money. Now I like to use, you can use a heat safe cauldron. My cauldron is a cast iron pot that I use as my cauldron to burn my Ancestor Money in. I picked this up a while ago at my local thrift store, and I saw it and knew I had to have it. I always wanted a cauldron, and this one just reminds me of Southern life where people use cast iron to cook in. I still have a cast iron skillet that I love to use, so this is perfect. Make sure you're using a heat safe tool such as this, or you can use like an abalone seashell, but those tend to be pretty small. I just feel comfortable using my cast iron pot. Now I usually sit in front of my ancestor altar, so I'll do a meditation, and at the end of that meditation or conversation, whatever I'm doing, I'll light the Ancestor Money at the end as an offering. Burn my Ancestor Money in. I'm not sure if you guys can see in here now, but I have tons of ash that's inside of the cast iron pot. And I like to save my ash. The last time I accumulated a lot of ash, and when I went to the Oak Alley Plantation, which is where the ancestors called me there to do some healing work, and I took my ashes and I left that on the grounds of the plantation for my offering. I did a video on that a while back, so you guys can go check out that video where I visited the plantations. When the ancestors call you, you gotta go and answer the call. So that's what I did. So what I like to do, again, after I'll finish my meditation, sit down in front of my altar, I like to anoint my hell notes, my Ancestor Money, with some type of anointing oil. Just a little bit will do. So I like to take that and I'll anoint them using the 4 elements or the 4 directions. That's my preference. So after I do that, I just anoint them. You can use a candle, but for the purposes here, I'm just going to use my lighter. And you always start from the corner. And I like to focus on the flame. You can see once the flame starts to turn different colors, you really feel that communication. And it's really just a beautiful ritual to do. I love watching the flame. You can also use a tweezer to be a little safer on how you burn it. When it gets close to the edge, then I just drop it in. I'm used to working with flames and hot combs, so it's no big deal for me to hold the flame. Again, you just burn it. I like to start from one end. Visualize the money, visualize your emotions, your connection with your ancestors as it's transmuted. The paper, you see the ashes falling, is being transmuted into a different realm. Make sure you watch the flame and make sure it dissipates all the way. And I like to use the hell notes because some paper smells, like burnt paper, and I don't like that smell. But a lot of the hell notes, which is specifically made for burning, it burns a little bit softer, and it doesn't have that long-lasting, lingering smoke that you would get from regular paper. So this is why I suggest using the hell notes paper. I've seen people use regular paper money. I guess you can do that too, but I just don't like the smell of burning paper. This is a little softer paper, a little lightweight. If you still have more that needs to be burned, you can go back and burn the little pieces. Or when you burn your next hell note, you can put it on top to make sure the pieces burn. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you burn your ancestor money, you have any tips and tricks you want to share, leave them in the comments. Until we meet again, take care.